Good evening, and welcome to HPU News on November 6, 2018. I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Allie Gold. Tonight, the death toll in Venice is still climbing.
A man paddles down a river in a giant pumpkin.
And a woman is now engaged to a spirit.
But first, let's head over to meteorologist Emma Parsons to tell us all about what's happening around the High Point area and beyond.
Let's take a look at this week's forecast. We've had a little warm front that moved in with temperatures in the low 70s today, and tomorrow there's an 80% chance of thunderstorms for the day and through the rest of the evening. Tomorrow we will have partly sunny skies with a high of 70, allowing us to dry off a bit, and then on Thursday we will drop down to a 62 with still partly sunny skies, and moving into Friday, an 80% chance of rain with a chill of 50 degrees, the highest. But over the weekend, we have sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-50s, giving us a nice break from the wet and cold. And Monday, we have a high of 56 with cloudy skies. Back to you, Thomas and Allie.
Looks like we are finally getting some November weather. Thanks, Emma. After a week of heavy rain and devastating floods, the death toll in Italy has now risen to 17. Gusting winds rose high tide 61 inches above the average. Winds hit up to 118 miles an hour. And recent reports have said that 300,000 trees have been flattened. Over 1 billion euros of damage has been done, making this one of the worst floods in the city's history. Flooding in the city has become more and more popular over the years, but is nothing to this magnitude.
Police say a brawl between a passenger and a bus driver led to the bus piling off of the bridge in southwestern China. Sunday, all 15 people on board were presumed dead, and it was said that the woman missed her stop on the bus, so she started attacking the driver. Police also released footage from a camera on the bus showing a passenger screaming at the driver and hitting him with her mobile phone. He then swung his right arm at her, trying to ward off the attack. As she continued to assault him, the driver swerved into oncoming traffic and hit a car before breaking through the crash barrier and plunging into the Yangtze River. The bus, which crashed on Sunday in the city of Chongqing, was lifted out of the water on Wednesday after an extensive and dramatic search and rescue effort. Salvage teams developed 70 rescue boats, their floating cranes, and 18 drivers to recover the bodies of 13 passengers. All authorities are still looking for the remaining two. All of the windows of the small bus were broken, and the vehicle had come to rest 71 meters below the water's surface, making retrieval difficult. Hundreds of thousands of people died and sustained injury every year on China's roads, with crashes that is the leading cause of death for people between the ages of 14 and 44, according to the World Health Organization.
One NFL cheerleader is taking a stand for racial injustice. Kayla Morris, a San Francisco 49er cheerleader, took a knee prior to the Thursday night game last week against the Oakland Raiders. Although it wasn't shown on TV, an image was posted to Twitter and it went viral instantly. Morris and the organization have yet to release a statement, but her former teammate Kayla Russell told Daily Mail, quote, "I think it's an extremely brave and courageous thing to do." She's believed to be the first NFL cheerleader to join Colin Kaepernick in this movement. Kaepernick first took a kneel during the 2016 season, and he has been out of the league since 2017.
And now we are to head over to our very own Jennifer Evans to tell us all about what's going on around the High Point campus. Jen?
Thank you, Thomas and Allie. Calling all trivia freaks. If you have a love for trivia and want to have a good time with your friends, come out to trivia night. It is a great way to clear your mind and have a good time too. And of course, there are free prizes. Trivia night has 2 rounds. The first round will be held on Wednesday, November 7th at 8 p.m. and the next one will be held at 9 p.m. Now, if you aren't a favor of art, and if you like art more than trivia, join us at the Seacrest Art Gallery Thursday, November 8th from 4 to 6 for Hannah Jubrin's opening art reception. This exhibit is open through Thursday, December 6th. At 5 p.m., Hannah Jubrin herself will host an artist talk. Now on Friday, November 9th at 8 a.m., High Point will host a Veterans Day celebration. This will consist of a patriotic salute and a breakfast for our military heroes. President Cubain and the entire HPU family warmly invite local veterans to celebrate their sacrifice and service to our nation. There will be performances from local musicians such as the North Carolina Brass Band and the High Point University Chamber Singers. That's all that I have for you guys tonight. Join us next week for more campus updates. Back to you, Thomas and Allie.
Thank you, Jen. It seems like campus is very busy at this time of the year.
Yeah, the trivia sounds like fun. Do you think you're going to go?
Yeah, that's probably one of the ones I'll be at. A resident of York, England has his eyes set on a new world record. Tom Piercy paddled down the OZ River in a giant pumpkin weighing in at 1,364 pounds. Piercy said it took a chainsaw and a few friends to hollow out the inside. The pumpkin was only 100 pounds or so away from being the largest ever. He traveled 500 meters, which spans about the length of 5 football fields. Tom said, quote, "There's no current record for the biggest pumpkin floated down a river at the moment, so we're the current world record holders."
A skeleton was discovered under the basement of a home on Long Island and on Wednesday, 57 years after a man who lived there went missing. Police say George Carroll's adult son and his 2 grandchildren found the possible human remains while excavating the basement of the home. Carroll has been missing since 1961, 6 years after the family bought the home. Michael Carroll says that it's been rumor in the family for years that his father may be buried in the basement. He disappeared when Michael was 8 months old, and the apparent story was he left to do something and never returned. His remains were found around cement walls. DNA testing will be used to identify the remains. So for now, Michael can't say for sure if it is his father, but he believes that it is. The remains were found about 6 to 8 feet down, and Michael said he wasn't surprised when he found them. He said he always believed his dad was in the basement of the house. If it is his father, he said he believes he has an idea who may be responsible. He wouldn't elaborate, but he said anyone who may have been involved is long dead. There was never a missing persons report filed for George Carroll.
And now it's time to head over to the woman, the myth, and the legend, Jennifer Brammer.
Wait, you're not Kevin McMahon?
No, I'm not Kevin McMahon. I might not have the knowledge of sports that Kevin McMahon has, but I definitely have the enthusiasm. Am I right? So, about the 49ers. Wait, no, shoot. Wrong school, wrong state, wrong sport. Whoops. Let's start over. Okay, HPU sports. So HPU volleyball swept Radford last Friday to clinch the #1 seed in the upcoming Big South Championship tournament. Senior Abby Broadstreet led the way on senior night with 9 kills to her name. The Panthers honored seniors Abby Broadstreet, Jordan Hefner, Adeline Ellis, Katie Tillman, Molly Livingston, and Rachel Cordenoy. On senior night in the Millis Center, they were pleased to have their last night in Millis end with a win. The Panthers head to Richmond tomorrow, where they will take on the VCU Rams at 7 o'clock. HPU men's soccer looks to continue their fairy tale season as they head into postseason play. The number 14 in the nation, Panthers, will host the Campbell Fighting Camels tomorrow in the Big South semifinal matchup. Winner will go to the Big South Championship on Sunday. HPU is looking to make their 2nd consecutive trip to Championship Sunday. Men's soccer cleaned up when it came to the end of the season afterwards. Panther coach EJ O'Keefe was named Big South Coach of the Year. Johnny Finnick was named Defensive Player of the Year. Ilias Cosmides was named Attacker of the Year, while Tony Panidia was named Freshman of the Year. To quote Fergie, "Let's play some basketball." And this weekend, the Panthers will be doing just that. Both High Point teams will be in action at home in the Millis Athletic Center this weekend. The High Point women's basketball team will kick things off on Friday as they host North Carolina Central at 7 o'clock. On Saturday, the much anticipated coaching debut of Tubby Smith will be made official as High Point will host the Wofford Terriers at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Wofford is a great team. Last year, they beat UNC at home in the Dean Dome, so their game with High Point Saturday should be a great one. Well, that's all I have for you this week. It's going to be a busy week for the Panthers. I don't know if I'm in competition with Kevin, but maybe I'll see you next week if I take Kevin's spot. I'm Jennifer Brammer. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jen. And I think you may have taken Kevin's spot with that one.
I think so, yeah. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned.
How am I going to pay for this?
Let me tell you something. Luck sucks. It's time for a little magic.
My name is Yankee. My last name is Kendall. So joke's on you. League. Buy all the diamonds from Africa. Yes, they support the illegal diamond trade. It's insane. You should follow them on Instagram.
Welcome back to HPU News. I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Allie Gold. 3 little pigs who were originally off to the slaughter are now getting a new lease on life thanks to an unlikely hero, Jax. Flo Rida and Champ are all pigs whose lives would have been ended in the pork industry until Hurricane Michael came through North Carolina. The trio was found swimming through the floodwaters and was rescued by Ziggy's refugee farm. Sanctuary, they fought so hard coming out from such a horrible life before, then suffering through a storm. Sanctuary co-founder Kristen Hartness told HuffPost, "They have fought so hard to live now. The pigs are being treated for illnesses and injuries suffered during the storm and have become online celebrities along the way." Posing for many Twitter and Instagram photos on the sanctuary's accounts. All 3 of the pigs are expected to make a full recovery and live out their lives as happy and at the farm. As bad as they had it, the Hurricane Flo is the best thing that has ever happened to them, Hartness said.
This evening we welcome Paris Dunford, our expert on all things entertainment for the evening, here to tell us about the latest movies and music. Paris?
Hey guys, it's Paris here with your entertainment update for the week. In the music world, Ariana Grande released her greatly anticipated single, Thank You Next, and her fans are raving about it. It's the perfect pop song to get over that nasty ex of yours. Speaking of exes, this song follows Grande's recent split from her fiancé, Pete Davidson. The engagement only lasted a few months, and the couple reported their breakup only a short time after Grande's ex, Mac Miller, was found dead. It has officially been released this week that Miller died from an overdose of cocaine and fentanyl. And in movie theaters have been buzzing with the release of Bohemian Rhapsody this weekend. The movie was about a film about Queen, celebrating their music and their lead star, Freddie Mercury. Fans loved the film and thought it was a great representation of the music group. However, critics didn't think the same. They think the film fell flat and did not hit the high notes that were important to some fans. That's all for today. See you next week with more on what's happening in the world of entertainment.
Thank you, Paris. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but despite the critics' reviews, I think I'm going to have to go see it
I saw it on
eventually.
Saturday, and I highly recommend it. It's a great movie, and it has Bohemian Rhapsody in it and a few other songs that Freddie Mercury and the whole band of Queen wrote. It's incredible. I highly recommend you all to go see it. A British woman who claimed she has slept with at least 20 ghosts says she's now engaged to a spirit. In December, Amethyst Realm told British TV show that she cheated on her fiance with a ghost and has since gone on to have supernatural affairs with at least 20 paranormal beings. Well, now she's found true love with an apparition. There was no going down on one knee. He doesn't have knees, but for the first time, I heard him speak, she says. I could actually hear his voice, and it was beautiful, deep, and sexy. The 30-year-old said she met her spooky match, who doesn't have a name, during a work trip to Australia in February. The bride-to-be added that this engagement is much more satisfying than her previous loving fiancé. Sometimes I get the feeling that I'm being moved, she says. Orgasms I've had with spirit lovers have been way more satisfying than any I've had with any ordinary men.
On Tuesday evening, police were called to a Tennessee cookout after employees saw Harley C. Morton, 26, partially fall through the restaurant ceiling. She was seen wearing nothing from the waist down. She then lifted herself back up and began running around until officers came to the fast food joint to look for her. But they didn't find her until she again fell through the ceiling, this time falling all the way to the floor. They believe she got into the ceiling by climbing into an air conditioner unit. She was arrested and charged for criminal trespassing, vandalism, disorderly conduct. She also served with an outstanding felony warrant to failure to appear. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to HPU News. I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Allie Gold. Have a great night, High Point.